With me is Mariette Hendricks, and I'm Andries Maria. And welcome to the first episode of the last cast angling show of the South African Sports Anglers and Casting Confederation. Mariette, tell me, where do you fit into the angling fraternity?
Andries, my family are keen deep sea anglers, and over the years I became involved in the administration of deep sea angling on club and provincial levels. You know, there's an old saying that says, if you can't beat them, join them.
Okay.
I was not about to miss out on all the fun. So I became an angler in own right, and I enjoy bullfishing and game fishing on all levels.
Okay, so partially you in administration also involved?
Yes. So I'm both an administrator and an angler.
So hierdie program is dis 'n hengelprogram vir die hengelaars wat ons as hengelaars vir julle gaan saamstel. Ons hoop dat julle dit gaan geniet en dat julle elke episode saam met ons sal kyk. En Mariette, ons gaan vir hulle alles vertel van hengel.
Wel, dit wat ons nie weet nie, gaan ons uitvind en ons gaan experts inkry om te vertel. So ja.
Dis die lekkerte. Ons hoef nie alles te weet nie. Ons het genoeg hengelaars in die hengelkonfederasie om hulle te nader en te vra, kom kuier 'n bietjie by ons en vertel vir ons 'n bietjie meer. So, wat gaan ons in hierdie program alles hanteer, Mariette?
Andries, ons gaan interessante onderhoude hê met verskillende experts. Ons gaan mense vra om vir ons opleiding te gee oor dinge waarvan ons te min weet.
Okay.
Ons gaan terugkyk op past angling events, so we're going to have a look into upcoming angling events, and we're going to have fun. We all share a passion for fishing.
So what the guys need to do is they need to get involved with the program. They need to subscribe. They need to click on the notice icon so that they can watch every episode that's going to go out. And please interact with us. We're going to share with you the necessary links so that you can send your video material and photos, because we're going to make a space for you guys so that we can also share your experience in terms of angling wherever you go to and to enjoy the sport of angling. Will this program be for the family to watch, Mariette?
Absolutely. So tell me, Andries, have you always been an angling administrator, seeing that you are the current president of SASACC, or have you competed in the sport as well?
Mariette, I was privileged. I started competitive angling in 1993 in the central northwest. We used to have a millie on our blazers, and I started to competing, blessed to have provincial colours. Ek het daarna na die nasionale kampioenskappe toe gegaan en die voorreg gehad om 8 keer die Protea baadjie aan te trek en ons land te verteenwoordig by wêreldkampioenskappe. So nee, ek het daarna uitgetree en ek het begin fokus om terug te gee aan die sport deur middel van administrasie en bestuur en betrokke te raak met opleiding in die sport.
Right.
Mariette, so that's my short pedigree. Where do you come in terms of angling? What have you achieved in terms of catching fish? Because I know these are the guys that you like to catch.
Oh, well, like I said, my family is where it all starts. We're one of a few in the country with 3 generations of SASACC anglers. Personally, I've represented my province 6 times at national championships, 2 in game fish, 2 in light tackle, and 2 in heavy tackle bullfish nationals. A few highlights of my career would most certainly include being part of the team that won the Bullfish 15,000, my contribution to the win being a black marlin of approximately 150 k's, and
Wow.
then the day before my 40th birthday, I caught a 100.2 kilogram yellowfin tuna on 24 kg line.
So how long did you play the fish? Come tell us.
The sea conditions were horrific. So I had to fight both the fish and the sea.
Okay.
I fought it for 3.5
Oh
hours.
my goodness me.
And I can tell you, the one moment I would be convinced this is a marlin. The next I'd say no, maybe a tuna. Guys, I think it's a shark. But one thing we've learned over the years, it's not a shark until you've seen it's a shark. So you just continue fighting. So we carried on for 3.5 hours. Fish never jumped. Fish never characteristically circled like a tuna often does. It was a weird fight, but a hard fight. It gave me a run for my money for 3.5 hours. And then all of a sudden, these big sickles just broke the surface. It was a moment I will remember forever.
Okay.
It was wonderful. And it was the first tuna to break the magical 100 kg mark in Natal. It was a moment I'll remember forever. What a 40th birthday gift.
Yeah, because as far as I know, those big tunas are normally in the Cape, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct. That's correct.
Wonderful. En iets wat jy nou nie vir ons gesê het nie is jy's nou onlangs verkies tot een of ander slim span, vertel bietjie vir ons.
Ek is bevoorreg om gekies te wees as kaptein van die SASACC damespan wat in die Game Fish Nationals gaan hengel.
So in SASACC is die hengelspan 3 hengelaars waarvan jy 'n hengelaar is, maar jy het ook die funksie om die kaptein te wees van die span.
Dis reg.
So jy het eintlik 'n dubbele prestasie behaal dat die bestuur van SASACC en hulle keerders jou toevertrou het met die verantwoordelikheid om leiding te neem by die span. Verstaan ek jou reg?
Dis seker so, ja.
Ja, nee, moet nou nie skaam wees nie. Nee, baie geluk Mariet met jou prestasie. Ek weet dat julle dames baie hard werk om gevestig te kry binne in SASACC. Ja. Ons sien uit na julle deelname. Watter toernooi gaan julle deelneem?
Ons gaan in die roofvis afdeling in the Game Fish Nationals. It will be hosted in Sinkwazi and we'll fish the week 17 to 22 April.
So we're going to make a plan that this show go there and visit and get some footage of what's happening at the Nationals and see how your team does.
We're looking forward to it.
Wonderful.
Andries, the competitive angling in South Africa is structured in a large angling organization, which is known as SASACC, of which we heard you are the president. Let's explain to our viewers exactly how the South African Angling Organization is structured.
Mariette, the South African Sports Angling and Casting Confederation consists out of a few national federations and associations, and they compete nationally, provincially, internationally, and on club level. And these committees that form part of the structure, they manage the sport locally. The South African Sports Angler and Casting Confederation, which is known as SASACC, is affiliated to international bodies. The controlling body internationally is CIPS, Confederation Internationale of Sport Fishing, and then there's 3 different international federations, of which are focused on different disciplines. They are divided into freshwater, saltwater, and fly fishing. So the FIPS-MER is the saltwater discipline. FIPS-ED Federation, it focuses on freshwater angling, and then the FIPS-MOOSH is only fly fishing. That's the only discipline that they focus on. So our national federations are then affiliated to these different international bodies, and that's where we compete at the various world championships. Within SASACC, you won't believe it, I think, Mariette, if I'm not mistaken, we have about 19 to 21 angling disciplines in which we participate. So normally, if we could compare it with a normal sport, let's say we take rugby, for example. Rugby has got sevens, and it's got normal 15-man, and it's got touch rugby. So with angling, we've got those various disciplines, and the disciplines are spread throughout our national federation. So within a federation, there might be 3 or 4 different disciplines, and another one less disciplines that they participate in. So it's a huge structure that we have in terms of competitive angling. Obviously, our sport has also got a community that's recreational anglers, and those are the most of the members are there. They don't need to be a member of any structure to be recreational angling. En hulle wil net visvang en hulle geniet hulle hengel. En hulle gaan op hulle eie tyd waarheen hulle wil gaan en hulle neem deel. Dis nie vir hulle kompeterende ding nie. Ja. Maar vir die res, mense soos jy en ek, ons wil kompeteer. Ons wil graag 'n medalje wen, ons wil graag 'n trofee wen en dan kry jy natuurlik ons wat dit vir geld doen. So ons struktuur maak voorsiening vir al daardie gedeeltes. So the first organization that we have, which is part of SASACC, is the South African Shore Angling Association. These guys are the guys that fish from the beach and from the rocks. So they focused on saltwater fishing from the shore. They've got 3 disciplines that fall under their association: shore angling, surf casting, as well as long distance casting, which recently joined the association. The association competes internationally in all 3 of these disciplines. What are the next one, Mariette?
The second national organisation is the Deep Sea Angling Association, known as SASACC. This association focuses on deep sea angling in various disciplines, which include game fish, bottom fish, light tackle bullfish, and heavy tackle bullfish. This association also competes internationally in all of these disciplines.
Dis nou waar jou huis is.
Dis my huis, dis my home grounds.
Okay, wonderlik. Die derde organisasie is die Ligtegery Boothengel Assosiasie en hulle fokus op boothengel. So hulle hengel in die vaarwater sowel as in die see, en hulle het 'n beperking in terme van afstand wat hulle in die see mag ingaan volgens hulle hengelreëls en hulle geniet ook internasionale deelnames. En ons sien uit daarna 2023 is hulle eerste wêreldkampioenskappe in hulle eie dissipline aanbied hier in Mossel Bay. Ons kan nie wag om hulle te sien nie.
The fourth national organisation is the Bass Angling Association, which are focusing on bass angling. They've got various disciplines, which include the tournament trials, individuals, teams, and the small craft disciplines. This association also participates internationally in these disciplines.
It's those guys that use those flat boats and they go fast on the river. We always see them there when we're catching fish. But yet the fifth national organization is the artificial lure angling guys, and they focus on catching different species and they use lures in their method of angling. They've got at this stage 1 discipline, of which they also compete internationally in Region 5 as well as abroad in World Championships.
Andries, the sixth national organisation is the Fly Fishing Association. This association is 1 discipline in which they participate and also compete internationally.
Nou ja, Mariette, my huis is die Suid-Afrikaanse Varswater Oeverhengelvereniging, of federasie dit eintlik geword met tyd. En ons hengel daar in verskillende dissiplines wat insluit oeverhengel, karphengel en dan is daar feeder en ook match wat ons kleiner afdelings is. Ons hengel in daardie 4 dissipline ook internasionaal aan wêreldkampioenskappe en ons oeverhengel gedeelte kompeteer dan nou ook in die streeks 5 toernooie waar hulle dan teen Zimbabwe en Namibië deelneem en baie kompeterend is.
The eighth national organisation is the Underwater Angling Federation. This federation has 1 discipline in which they partake and also participate internationally.
But these are the guys that do spearfishing. Those are underwater fishing. For the guys that's not well known with the term, they focus on diving, free diving, and they shoot fish with their spear guns. Also specialized discipline.
Fearless.
Yes, definitely.
Not for the faint-hearted. Yes. Let's kick off with some angling news. The Surfcasting Protea Pairs team participated in the FIPS MERD 2021 Pecked Angling World Championships for Pairs. The host nation was Portugal. The Protea team managed to win gold, and the angling pair Cara Cohen and Jacques Malherbe were awarded the gold medal. The executive of SASACC, the members of SASACC, and South Africa want to congratulate the team on their magnificent performance.
You know, Mariette, it's always important for our teams to do well abroad. And when they do well abroad, it's so much more of a prestigious result. It's easy to win on home ground, is the perception that exists. But when you're able to do it abroad, it's really something special. And we're proud of you guys. Well done. We are looking forward to what's going to happen in Tunisia. There's some of your teams going there. Hopefully you'll make us proud again. The following championships has been completed in the previous cycle: the Shore Angling Junior Nationals, the Shore Angling Master Nationals, the Surf Angling Nationals, then the Bank Angling Masters Nationals, the Feeder Master Nationals, and the Bank Angling Ladies National Championships.
SASACC submitted a bid to host the International Confederation's Annual Congress of 2023. The proposed host city will be Cape Town. The decision of awarding the hosting rights will be made in this month, and during May in Mexico at the 2022 SIPS Congress, it will be confirmed. We are looking forward to the outcome of this bid.
Mariette, we presented a proper bid to the CIPS Presidium. We're looking forward to seeing what they say about it. We think that we're going to give them a jolly of a time in Cape Town. We've approached a lot of partners to make it possible for us there. So we're looking forward to bringing the international committees here that manages the sport abroad on the whole globe. And the planning is that they would then have their general assemblies in South Africa planning the participation of international world championships for the following 3 years. So it's exciting times.
We're holding thumbs. We could be up for exciting times.
In hierdie uitgawe van Stywe Lyne kuier ons agter die skerms van Hier gaan ons alweer, terwyl die span biljaar onder die vis by die Kanuni riviermond in Namibië. En Bernard Venter deel sy avonture by Taunda. Jeff Asherwood catches a king and queen off the beach in one session. And Guy Poulette shows us how to target bass on rocky points in late summer. But you can also read many more articles on the largest digital angling platform in South Africa, foranglers.co.za. Here you can enjoy more than 4,000 articles and many videos on your desktop, tablet or mobile. For Anglers publiseer elke maand beide die Oeverhengelaar en Stywe Lyne tydskrifte in digitale formaat. Jy kan ook elke dinsdag aand inskakel op For Anglers Live vir 'n lekker hengelgeselsprogram waar jy altyd iets kan wen.
In terms of championship reports, Mariette, in October last year, the Bank Angling National Championships for the anglers with disabilities took place at Bloemhofdam. Now, Mariette, I was there. The first day, the practice day, it was a bit of a disaster with the rain that fell. And for those who don't know, we've got anglers that are quadriplegic. They are guys that has some disability in terms of visual, where they can't see. There's amputees. So you can just imagine with these vehicles getting stuck.
Oh,
what effort it was.
Op sy beste genade.
Dit was glad nie maklik geweest vir die hengelaars nie. Maar die oefendag het toe nou nie kon plaasvind nie, want dit was net 'n vreeslike gesukkel om die voertuie uit te kry. Die kompetisie se hengeldae het wel plaasgevind. They fished for 2 days and the anglers scored 1,811 fish over the 2 days that they fished. And the total mass of the fish was 2,600 or something kilograms. So they caught a lot of fish. They enjoyed really participating in Bloemhof. I think they mentioned that they want to go there this year as well. So the disabled anglers really enjoy the participation. Now, for those who don't know, with disability anglers, we gave them the opportunity that they can be assisted, Mariette, because you can understand that if you're an amputee, you can only do so much.
Yes.
You're limited in terms of your functionalities. So if a person is a paraplegic, for example, he may have an assistant that assists him with the casting. So I've got a video clip to show where Barend assists the angler in casting and preparing the rod and so on. The viewers can see the assistant that Barend is allowed to give, and because it's a paraplegic, he can cast himself. So Barend can prepare some of the things and then he needs to cast for himself. And in the video, you guys can see that the abilities that the angler still have, he needs to utilize those abilities. So depending on your categorization of your abilities, then the rules apply in terms of the support that you can obtain. So it's special to see this happening. There were about 50 anglers that participated
That's
in this.
amazing.
Yes, most of them has got assistant anglers that help them. in different tasks, putting on bait and landing fish and so on. So it's exciting to see them.
I'm sure those anglers will never ever forget this experience, and it would be wonderful if we could make an annual event.
Yeah, it is. This one was the fourth time that it was presented. So we're looking forward to the 2022 participation. As I mentioned, it will be at Bloemhof, I presume. And there would be, again, a lot of provincial teams that's going to participate. Last year, it was 10 teams that participated. And the team from Gauteng North, their A team, they won the championship. So they got their medals. So the guys are excited. And it's humbling to see them enjoying the sport, even though they've got physical limitations.
Absolutely, Andres. It certainly sounds like there should be a tick next to the box of mission accomplished. It's sometimes just nice to be able to give back to the sport and just be the change you want to see. I think there's a lesson in it for each and every one of us that your disability doesn't necessarily define who you are. Your attitude does.
Yeah, and if you want to get involved, if you're disabled, please contact us. Visit our Facebook pages, send us a message via Messenger so that we can assist you and put you in contact with the disabled angling fraternity so that you can enjoy your participation with them. Maria, during December 2021, it was the Freshwater Bank Angling Federation's Junior National. Now, this is quite a huge event. There's about 400 juniors that participate in this event. They compete in two categories in terms of age. So there's an under 13 and an under 19 group. And then we also developed a few years back already a separate category for the young ladies. So they compete in their own section. Yeah. The ladies must compete against themselves. Obviously, we didn't exclude the young ladies to participate in the other sections. So they are also allowed to participate in the two other sections. So they competed against one another and they caught a lot of fish. It was also at Bloemhof and they enjoyed themselves a lot.
Great. So if I understand correctly, the children represented their provinces in various teams, and the results of these teams were as follows. The Under-19 Premier A was won by Central North West. The Under-19 President A was won by Central Gauteng. The Under-13 A section was won by Free State, and the Young Ladies section also won by Free State.
Yeah, the Free State is a strong province in freshwater bank angling. They often do well in bank angling. The other national championships which were completed thus far in the year is the Shore Angling Junior Nationals that recently took place. The under-19 section was won by the team of Eden. The under-21 section was the team from Western Province. And then the Shore Angling Masters Nationals also took place. There the team from Border was crowned the winners. And specifically, the individual winner was B. Tedder. That was the individual champion for that tournament. Surfcast angling also was recently competed. They took place there. The championships was at Longabon in that West Coast area. And the winning team was Central Gauteng. And Henny Badenhorst was the champion. He's quite an astounding surf angling angler, if you may.
And I believe Rihanna Vermaak was crowned the individual ladies champion.
Well, Mariette, we cannot forget about the ladies. As we know, the ladies within the shore angling fraternity is also quite competitive, and they're doing well. So congratulations also to her with the achievement.
Congratulations, all of you. Excellent.
Today, with us in the studio, and you can see we've got a relaxed atmosphere because we're going to have a nice interview with Mike Milligan. Mike, welcome. Thank you for joining us in the show. Mike fills the position as the manager of the bass angling Protea team. And he's with us, and he's going to chat about the bass angling team and the management thereof. Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure being here. Thank you.
Like Andries mentioned, Mike, you are the manager of the Protea bass angling team. As I have it, they've got a #1 ranking in the world, and individually you've got a #1, #2, and a #5 ranking. Am I correct?
That is correct, yes.
Now, to my understanding, not all of SASACC's federations and associations allow for a team manager. In your opinion, why is it important to allow for a team manager to accompany a Protea team abroad?
Well, first of all, you start off, your function is logistics. You've got to look after all the logistics. Prior to the tournament, leaving South Africa, getting there, you're looking after transportation, accommodation, and all the roles. Now, if the anglers have to do that, they instead of concentrating on winning and putting their best effort in the team, they're busy worrying about, oh, what about lunch packs for tomorrow? We don't have enough food, not given. So they divided there. Then you have team meetings every evening. The organizers have meetings, and those meetings then have to be attended. The manager, captain, then has to attend. Well, if you've got a manager, the manager attends. He sorts out all the nitty-gritties, the little problems that happen during the day. And then you find that the captain can spend time with the other anglers. They can discuss the events of the day. They can plan, strategize for the next day. It gives them that ability, and I think that's very important.
That's sure an advantage.
Yeah, it's a massive advantage.
So personally, where did your involvement with SABA start?
SABA, when my son was 14, he was a junior, and it started at that. We bought him a boat and we fished. And as it goes along, you progress, and they look for any parent that's willing to get involved. And it was fun. It was a time to bond with Nicholas, and we had a good time. And slowly you progress along, and you give him more roles, more functions, and that's where I am today.
As it works in life, if you do a job too good, it becomes yours forever.
They didn't tell me that. Yeah. So after Nicholas's participation, or while he was busy, you progressed into get involved with the senior section as well, Mike? Yes, I did, and that was, we had a good team. SABA has a very good team, good management team, and we did a bit of fundraising and sponsorships, and we had a great president came along, Craig Fraser, and under him it went very well. And then it took over in 2015. By default, I became the manager. We went to Italy and we came second, and just progressed from there. It was an interesting one. As I said, by default, I took the position as manager, and one of our top anglers at the time, when we finished announcing that I'm going to be the manager, and this is the day of us leaving, he called me aside and says, is there any chance we can get a proper manager to take over? Going to Europe, visas, plane tickets and everything. But it was quite fun, and today it's a great team, and it's a massive effort to get into a team like that. The restrictions are so difficult, but we end up with a great team, and we're going across in October. We're going to defend our world ranking, so I don't think we can lose it, but we're going to fish against the best in the world, and we're looking very forward to it.
That's what it's all about. I've mentioned that you've had great successes over the years, but what are the key factors you would contribute these successes to?
I think it's having a good team. I mean, there's no doubt you can't have it number one. You've got to have a good team, and I think South Africa has a great depth of anglers. The key thing now is to maintain your #1 ranking, and the only way to do that is you need to have the experience coming through, making sure that the anglers coming up get experience, and that's what we need. But I think there's a number of things. We know how the system works, and when you're angling at this level, it's a reverse Grand Prix system. You've got to do each day's bag is on weight, but after that it's a reverse Grand Prix. So once you understand that, knowing how important it is that all three boats have to finish high up. You can't have a 1 and 2 and another boat finishing in the 30-odd spot. You're going to battle there. So, yeah. But again, also being a psychologist also helps. The anglers have the ability, there's no doubt. I mean, they are of the best in the world, there's no doubt. And I believe in them. But it's sad sometimes you watch them and they don't believe in themselves. And you've got to now get that across them that they are the best, they are there, they can do it. And once they realize that, it's a lot easier. Mike, as a manager, I'm sure part of your responsibilities is to get the guys to become a team, from being individual members to become a team. And only once they're in that position, they can be successful. Is that a process that you go with each of the team? Because annually you select a new team. Some of the guys get carried forward, but other guys are new. How do you go through that process to manage it, to develop a team out of a few very competent individuals?
Good question.
No, that's the challenge, without a doubt. But you need to understand the angler. You need to understand how he thinks and what he does. You need to understand what is the problems at home. Does he have any problems? You need to understand the angler as such. And once you do that, you've got to bond them together. So, for example, before we go to Lake Murray in October, we will have a session, at least one session, on the river where we'll go and we'll practice and get the dynamics right.
I think that is so important.
No, without a doubt. If you don't, we've had one year we had a situation where the guys didn't gel on the boat, and it was we've never medaled. We've medaled every other year, so there is definitely something to that, without a doubt, and it's important. So if you want or can give any advice to anglers that aspires to become part of a Protea team, not necessarily in bass angling, but in general, what advice can you give to an angler that really wants to wear that green and gold patch on their shirt? It comes down to the more time for bass, the more time on the water, the better you are, the luckier you get. But you have to have the mindset. You have to believe in yourself, and everybody out there has the ability to do it. You just got to spend the time making sure that you are at that level, and you can't want to be there if you're not there. So you need to put the effort in right from the beginning, and once you do that, it comes easy.
Mike, if I understand you correctly, or let me put this differently, no one gets chosen for a Protea bass angling team because of their ability to arrange passports and to attend meetings and get visas and gather information during the event. They get chosen because they're good anglers. They've got a certain set of skills, they're knowledgeable and they're competitive. Your role is to take care of everything else so that the anglers can do what they do best, and that's fish. 100%. If the angler's got the smallest negative issue, with the amount of pressure at a World Games or World Championships, it is magnified 100 times. Yeah, sure. So you've got to make sure there's nothing. When he gets into his room, he wants to charge his phone. He wants to communicate with others. He wants to have data. He doesn't want to sit and use it. So you've got to make sure you've got the portable Wi-Fi's with you. You've got to make sure you get the right plugs. It's all the little things that you want. Take care of everything. As I always say to the guys, I'll sort everything out. I'll sort your laundry out, everything, except your underpants. That you sort out. I will sort out everything else. That's my job. And don't do my job. Let me do my job. You've got to do your job. Your job is on the water. And make sure you do your best. I'm going to do my best when you're not on the water, and look after you. I've often heard people say that anglers, they're a different breed of people, but I think team managers, they're next level breed of people. I commend you. It's when you're there, it's not a matter of who's right or what's right or who's wrong. It's a matter of you've got a job to do. I don't get involved in their job. So when we sit in
the discussions in the evening, what happened on the water. I don't get involved in that. I don't tell them what to do. It's not me. I'm not on the water. I'm not an angler. I've got a very specific function there, and that is to make sure that they've got everything they want. The very first one I went to, one of the anglers got spaghetti plot in his place at 10 o'clock at night, and he threw it and says, I don't eat this food.
Yeah.
I had to go and find him food, but that's part of it. And you don't ask, you do it. When I get to his room, he's fast asleep. But that's it. That's the way it is. You that's your job, and don't say, "But I wasted my time." No, it's not. That's the
You're
job.
behaving like a child or
Everything.
anything.
Yeah. No, it's not. Remember the pressure on the guys then. You see a very different person at a world champ.
I'm sure.
Very different.
I'm sure.
And everyone reacts differently. So you've got to be able to understand it and take away any pressure. Because it's a massive amount. If you want to go there to do well, you want a medal. You don't want to spend all that money and come back and say, I didn't
Absolutely.
We came fourth in Mexico, and that was very sad for us coming back with that because we practiced, we did everything right. They dropped the water level in the time between the cutoff and the tournament. They dropped the water huge. It was a different water, total different venue for us. And that's the way it happened. Nothing you can do.
Yeah.
But make sure the anglers looked after.
Mike, you've mentioned some advice for the anglers to get the opportunity to be included in the team. What advice would you give to a manager that aspires to fill your position in a Protea team? What advice can you give them?
Well, I think anybody can organize plane tickets and a car hire. Those are simple things. But you've got to look at the little things that going to just make it more comfortable for the anglers. Number one. Number two, as the manager, you need to interact with all the other managers, the organizers, the FIPSET organizers, so that we can host other nationals in South Africa. I was very fortunate in 2015 in Italy that we were able to get the 2017 games, World Championships in South Africa. So you've got to be able to know the people, support from them, because at the end of the day, if you want to vote to get a World Championship in South Africa, or you want to change rules, or things aren't right, you need their support because it's all comes down to a vote.
One thing you didn't mention, Mike, is that the team manager is actually representing South Africa and the SABA as well as SASACC in these events, as you are the official representative, or they call it the delegate in the tournaments internationally. So the manager has got a pivot role to play in terms of his team, the organizations, and the international body. So it's not just sorting out food and so on. There's a lot more that's actually resting on a team manager when you are involved at that level.
Yeah. I think that's 100% correct. And I think if you look at it, we had 2017, we had 2019 World Games, and the next one will go to Portugal, Italy, and then it'll come back to South Africa. So if you want to do well in the world rankings, it does help to have home water advantages. So if you can have a home water world games or championship, it does help you. So again, you can't just look at this year or next year. You need to look at the whole picture. So you want to stay number one, you need to have home water advantage somewhere along the line. And you want to try and have it every 3-4 years. So that's where it is. But you're 100% correct. It's an ambassador. And I think if we look at the bass angling at the moment, I think South Africa, from you go back to the World Games in 2019, which was run in South Africa by VC Vessels, was an awesome tournament and highly respected with all the other captains and managers from all over the world. And then in 2017, it was Craig Fraser, highly respected. He's got a number of caps. He's ranked number 5. We have Daryl Quinton, who's got I don't know how many caps, number 2. And of course, we have the number 1 in the world. Let's not forget that. Justy Fokkiekus, that is phenomenal. He's not ranked number 1 for not being the best. He's been the best in South Africa. Now he's the best in the world. And long may that reign. As long as they're there, we've got the talent. We're not going to have a problem staying at number 1 in the world.
So, Mike, the best Mecca is lying ahead for you guys. on your way to the USA. Lake Murray, what can we expect from the team? I saw the USA team being published. I can tell you guys, those guys know where the front end of a bait casting reel and a rod, and they know how to use it. What can we expect from your team?
Look, we're going across to it. I believe we can. The anglers also starting to believe they can. We have the talent, there's no doubt. We don't know the venue. So the plan is to go and spend 2 weeks prior to the tournament and prior to the cut-off period and map the dam and get to know it as best as possible. And then I think it's down to the individuals. If we can just get a few stars aligned, I honestly believe we have a chance. If we didn't medal, I think we'd come back very disappointed.
Okay. Mike, you talk about Lake Murray mapping, but I think it's important that you tell the viewers, in terms of Harties, Lake Murray in size, just give them a perception of what you're talking about mapping Lake Murray.
Harties would fit into one little bay in Lake Murray. It's massive. It's massive. There's a strong chance that Justy and I'll go across in July, August, and we'll go and do most of the mapping there. Spend 2 weeks, something like that, and do the mapping and doing homework there. And then we'll go back 3 weeks before the tournament, and we'll spend 2 weeks at least. We're going to go early in October, and we'll go and do the groundwork.
So, Marie, listening to Mike here, it's very clear for me that putting the effort in as a manager, just as the anglers, to ensure the success of a team. It's imperative what I'm hearing from Mike.
Absolutely. The build-up to the tournament is equally or even more important than the event itself.
Look, if you haven't done the homework and you haven't put the time and the effort in, as I said, the more you're on the water, the better you're going to be. And we're going to put that time and effort in, without a doubt. So if we don't win gold, it'll only be because somebody was better than us on the day. Not better than us, on the day.
That's it. I like that.
But at the end of the day, we're going to put in all the effort, we'll make it that we do have a chance. We don't want to go there and fish for bronze or silver medal, and that's the best we can do. No, we want to go there and win.
You give yourself the best possible chance of a win.
100%. And I mean, if you look at the 6 anglers we have, I mean, they're fantastic. They really, really are. We've got an awesome team, and I believe in them. So I believe we can win.
Mike, you've got me all inspired. I would really like to thank you for taking the time to come into the studio and have a chat with us. I wish you and your team all the best. Like Donnie always says, go for gold.
Going for gold. Thank you very much, guys. It was very nice being here.
Thanks, Mike. Cheers.
Cheers. We received a question from an angler requesting help with the understanding of sea surface temperature charts and how it can influence catch results. Now, your wish is our command. So for this program, we invited Henry Badenhorst, a local guru on the subject of fishing with satellite imaging, as the coach to enlighten us on the subject of sea surface temperature charts. Welcome, Henry.
Thanks, Andries. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So, Henry, vertel bietjie vir ons, waar kom jy vandaan en wat is jou hengelervaring?
Ek is nie provinsiaal betrokke nie, maar ek het baie vroeër jare het ek baie oorsee gehengel op baie bote gewerk, marlynbote gewerk, plekke Guatemala, was ek baie lanker gewees. Lekker Seychelles, daar gaan Basel toe. Ons het 1000 pontunas in Nova Scotia gaan vang. So ek het in Amerika gehengel, 'n hele paar plekke gehengel en 'n hele paar bullfish al so met die jare al bymekaar gemaak by releases.
Henry, when did you start using the SST charts?
It started in 2008, 2009. Started reading up about it, and it was mostly used in the United States by those captains. Started reading up on it, and contacted one of those companies, and managed to do a deal with one of them to cover the north coast of KwaZulu-Natal and Mozambique for sports fishermen. And the origin of this charge comes from commercial fishermen where they use very high definition information to ensure success. But the cost of running these commercial satellite programs is very expensive. So a similar product with lesser information was created for sport fishermen. And so we were lucky that one of these companies came on board and provided a satellite and the information for us to start off with these programs in South Africa.
So Henry, let me just understand this properly. As I'm a freshwater angler, I don't really know anything about this. What is the purpose then of these charts? Why do you use it?
These charts, it's a fishing tool. So it points you to the most productive areas that will hold fish in the ocean. The ocean is big, it's a vast ocean. So driving around on the ocean the whole day looking for fish, it's sometimes you're lucky, sometimes you're not. So we're trying to take the luck out of fishing. That's what we're trying to do. With this program, with the sea surface temperature charts, you can actually pinpoint a spot before you leave the beach, and you can drive to the most productive areas on the ocean. It's an extra tool in catching fish. It's just like your boat, your fishing gear, and your sounder. The better you understand your gear, the better the chance of success you will have. And SST charts it's another gear to ensure success when you go fishing.
What software are you using for fishing in South African waters?
Yes, it's a software program which you use on your laptop, which you download the information. It gets updated 3 to 5 times per day. New information. So you download the information. The software then gives you the information you need, and from there you get your GPS points exactly where you want to go. If you spot a good area that could be productive holding fish. Luckily, also it's starting to come out on apps now as well, so we don't have to take the laptop onto the boat anymore. We can start using our phones, so that's very exciting.
Henry, when you use this software program and I understand that you draw some charts from it, what is displayed on the charts and what are you looking for on these charts?
The information that we're looking for on these charts, it's to ensure your success is most importantly the three is plankton, temperature, and currents. You need those 3 factors in play to find a productive area. Other information like your sea height, salinity, and thermoclines is also available on these programs.
How often are these charts updated?
Yes, we get 3 to 5 updates per day during 24-hour cycle. Bad weather and clouds does influence the quality we receive, unfortunately. But yeah, we're lucky to get enough updates during the day to keep you onto the fish.
Okay, you mentioned that you mainly look for info on plankton, temperature, and currents. Can you please explain the reasons why you look for these specific things on the charts?
Die eerste ding wat ek download is die plankton. Plankton is die kos vir die klein visies. Dis waar jou food chain begin. So as jy plankton kry jy bytvis, dan kry jy marlyn. Dus plankton is baie belangrik. Dit vorm die voedselketting in die oseaan, plankton. So ons soek plankton om te begin mee.
Okay, you mentioned that you mainly look for info on plankton, temperature, and currents. Can you please explain the reasons why you look for these specific things on the charts?
Ja, jou roofvis, jou marlyn, jou tunas, hulle swem in sekere temperature. Hulle hou van sekere temperature, nie te koud en nie te warm nie. Hulle wil in optimale temperatuur die hele tyd bly. So jy soek daai temperatuur op jou kaarte. Dat jy seker wees jy is op die regte temperatuur. Jy weet, as jy nie te vlak hengel nie, jy nie te diep gaan hengel nie, jy moet net op die regte plek hengel. So jy soek jou temperatuurbreker, jy soek jou chlorophil. Die temperatuurbreker en jou chlorophil werk saam in die oseaan. Dit konsentreer vis. Daai brekingsareas wat jy kry, in die oseaan met jou temperatuurbreuke en jou chlorophyll, is ook ekosisteme wat vis hou. En jou pelagic, soos jou marline en jou tuna, jag om daai sisteme. In jou temperatuurbreuke. So jy wil presies op daai breuke hengel die hele dag. Jy wil nie 200 meter weg wees van 'n dag nie, dan mis jy 'n vis. Jy wil letterlik op daai breuke kan ry die hele dag. En die program gee vir jou daai inligting sodat jy pinpoint heeltyd op dit kan werk. Jou pelagic, soos jou marline en jou tunas, weet hulle wil kan sien wat hulle jag. Hulle het skoon water nodig om suksesvol te jag. Jou pelagics gebruik stroom om in te swem om energie te bewaar, sodat as hulle op aas afkom met hulle energie om te jag en suksesvol te kan jag. So hulle bly heeltyd in die strome. Hulle bly in die strome om daai energie te bewaar. Is baie belangrik om binne in die strome te hengel.
Henry, it sounds like the information that's available on these charts is a lot more than one can comprehend. So tell us a bit more of the additional information which is also available on these charts, which you use then in improving your success.
Andries, it certainly increases your percentage of success. If the software gives you all of these three factors we've spoken about, if it gives you on the same spot where those lines cross, which we'll show in the next figures, you can have a 99% chance of raising a fish or getting a strike from a marlin. The other 1% depends if the fish is hungry or not. That cannot be controlled, luckily yet. One of the new craze things out there for fishing, the newest thing for fishing these days is sea surface heights. The ocean move around by the rotation of the planets. So the ocean is not flat. You get areas where the surface is higher, you get areas where the surface is lower. Where it's higher is the upwelling, and where it's lower is the downwelling. Upwellings provides nutrients from the deep, and it pushes up from the bottom up to the surface. This again produces a food chain and a productive fishing area for you. The downwellings, it pushes dead water down towards the bottom and it sinks. So that's a dead area. You don't want to fish there. So ideally, as a fisherman hunting for pelagics, like marlin and tuna and wahoo, those fish, you want to be exactly in between the upwelling and the downwelling. So it's very interesting information. It's a lot of it's new information. It's exciting to read about it. It's just another advantage we're getting. The more we read about it, the more we understand it. To put your boat and your lures on exactly the same spot where the fish are.
Andries, I think you only heard swelling, and now you heard there's upwelling and downwelling.
Mariet, jy sien, ek kom nou net by die see per geleentheid en toe Henry nou hiervan praat, het ek vir 'n oomblik gedink hy praat van golwe, soos wat die water so beweeg, maar dit klink vir my, ek het nie idee van wat hier aangaan nie. So swelling en dwelling klink vir my is heeltemal verskillend en is baie duidelik dat ek uit my diepte uit is oor hierdie onderwerp wat Henry vir ons vanaand vertel.
Henry, ek is mal oor die hele idee van fishing with satellite imaging. I do believe it gives you the extra edge in competitive angling. Share with us what successes you've had using this information.
Recently in the OET, got a boat onto a big tuna, which won them a big cash prize. That was in last year's OET. And also in 2020's OET, I also got another boat onto a big tuna, and they also won a big cash prize. I got one of our club boats in the Billfish. I got him into a school of stripies twice in a row in last year's Billfish. They managed to get 8 strikes, but unfortunately they couldn't get a hook up. But they had a lot of action and a lot of fun around. A couple of years back, I got a first place and a second place in the Billfish Nationals at Sodwana. 2 of my friends fishing there, and both of them put him on the spots the whole week. And one guy got first place, and the other friend. Numerous times in the mornings before we launch, check the program, give a couple of spots to friends where I think the fish would be, and I normally rate them a 7 out of 10, or an 8 out of 10, or a 9 out of 10, or a 10 out of 10. And so if I give a guy a 10 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10, I know he's gonna get a fish. And when I get a feedback, they'll call me on the radio, they'll call me on the phone. They hooked up and they're so excited. It was exactly on the spot I gave them. That's fun when it happens, but it shows you it works, and it's a really fun tool to work with once you start understanding it. It's not that difficult. It's a few things you need to learn, and I'm always available to help on this. So.
That is absolutely amazing. And the testimonies of the subsequent successes are growing by the day. I want to say a big thank you for sharing some valuable information of your passion for fishing with SST charts with us.
Henry, can I turn your arm a little bit? Would you be available to assist the guys who want to use this program? Because it might happen that when they download the software that they don't really understand the benefits and how to read it. Would you be available to assist the guys? And if so, how can they get hold of you to correspond with you and get your knowledge to be carried over to them?
Andries, yes, they can certainly approach me. My email is on the screen, and the website for the program, for the software, is also on the screen. So please email me anytime you want to start using this program, and I'll certainly help you get connected and getting understanding what's needed to catch more fish.
Okay. Andries, I think that's an important factor. I know from own experience, there's a vast amount of information available there, and it's quite daunting at first to know which overlay to apply and what to look for once the overlay has been applied. So Henry, thank you for your willingness. Much appreciated.
See you again, Henry. I hope to see you on the beach at the launch of the next boats. Cheers. So the highlights of 2021, Mariette, there were quite a lot of achievements during the year, which the teams participated in, and also provincially, club competitions, and nationally, there were quite a lot of achievements.
That's correct, Andries. During national championships, the anglers had great results. The Senior Bank Angling National Championships took place in 4 regions due to COVID regulations. It was hosted in the west at Bloemhof Dam, in the east at Grootdraai Dam, in the north at Vaal Dam, and in the south at Paarl Dam. The Light Tackle Bullfish Nationals, the OET Bull and Gamefish Tournament, the Bullfish 15,000 Tournament, and the Heavy Tackle Bullfish Nationals were all hosted fairly recently and boasted great results. The international events which our national teams participated in were the Region 5 Artificial Lure Tournament, Shore Angling Tournament against Namibia, Bank Angling Tournament against Namibia, Surf Casting World Championships, Feeder Freestyle World Championship, Long Distance Casting World Championships, and some others.
Mariette, our national teams were blessed with good results during 2021 with their participation internationally. Let's name a few of these excellent results which they obtained. At the Shore Angling Tournament against Namibia, the junior team were crowned with the gold medal.
Wow.
Yeah, they did very well to beat Namibia in their own waters. At the Bank Angling Tournament against Namibia, the ladies, seniors, and master team, all of them were crowned with the gold medal. So they did exceptionally well, again, in the waters of Namibia. At the Surf Casting World Championships in Portugal, one of our pairs were crowned with the gold medal, another pair were crowned with the bronze medal, and then our team were crowned with the gold medal.
Awesome.
At the Long Distance Casting World Championship that took place in Tunisia, the team were crowned with the bronze medal.
Andries, I must tell you that we are so proud of the achievement of our anglers. We know that a lot of hard work goes into this and that they must often make huge sacrifices. It's to compete nationally and internationally, one needs the support of your family and friends. And I do want to take a moment to recognize and thank the family and friends who selflessly and endlessly support our anglers to enjoy and excel in the sport they love so much.
Mariette, I can't overemphasize that. That's definitely true. A lot of the guys wouldn't have achieved those achievements without them. Because while Honey is not home, things need to carry on. So thank you from my side as well with the support that they give.
After the advert from our partner, we will be discussing the reflection of 2021 activities.
Vir 25 jaar is Superkaas die boebaas varswater aasvervaardiger. Ons voorsien aan al jou behoeftes, van sosiale hengelaar tot wêreldkampioen. As nasionale borg het Superkaas ons kampioene gehelp en kan ons jou ook 'n wenner maak langs die viswaters met die nuutste metodes en tegnieke. Maak gebruik van ons wye reeks produkte, getoets en beproef deur ons span professionele hengelaars. Superkaas, die keuse van kampioene.
Although the COVID-19 pandemic had a devastating effect on fishing activities around the world, SASACC managed to reinstate angling activities in South Africa under certain COVID-19 participation rules. The angling activities on social, club, provincial, national and international levels were reinstated, and we all had the opportunity to enjoy angling again.
Mariette, with the implementation of the COVID-19 regulations, obviously the activities were a little bit different than we used to, but at least we had the opportunity to continue with our participation in a safe environment. The regulations caused that we had to make some changes, and we did make a lot of changes, but our guys were still able to angle and still enjoy our angling.
There were some of the activities which could not be concluded due to lockdown regulations, but we're glad to say that participation in the sport of angling is almost back to normal.
Ja, ons is baie naby op by ons sterk. Een van die dae is ons weer terug na normale deelnames.
The members of SASACC had the opportunity to compete in club competitions, provincial leagues, provincial trials, national championships and national trials. We also had national teams which participated abroad in tournaments and world championships in countries like Namibia, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Portugal, Hungary, etc.
During the next month, we have quite a few activities in national championships that will be hosted by our federations. First up is the SAFA Senior Protea Trials, then the SASA Senior A Nationals, the SASA B Section Development, as well as the Ladies Nationals, SAFBAF Senior Premier and President's Nationals, the SAFA Ladies and Masters Nationals, the SAFA Junior Nationals Trials, the SAFBAF Carp Angling Nationals, the SALF Nationals, as well as the SALA Nationals, the SATSA Gamefish Nationals, the SAWA Individual Nationals, the SATSA Bottomfish Nationals, SAFA A Nationals, the SASA Long Distance Casting Nationals, SAFBAF Senior National Trials, the SATSA Tuna Nationals, but it's in about May month, I presume, April, May, thereabout. So there's quite a lot that's up for us, and we will be able to report quite a lot in the next program. As you can hear, we have a busy cycle coming for the next program, and we're looking forward before the winter start to all of the activities.
This marks the end of our first program, Andries. We are planning to post our programs on the channel with 1 or maybe 2 programs per month for a start.
Mariette, I'm looking forward to creating these programs and let the guys see what's happening in our sport. On a regular basis, we'll be posting these programs. Mariette, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag and tell you what happened. I've approached some of our partners and I put out some baits there and asked them whether they would like to join us in this program.
Hopefully they fell for it hook, line and sinker.
What can I say? I have the pleasure to announce that they are willing to give us sponsors in terms of gifts that we will be able to utilize for our viewers.
Wonderful. So how's this competition going to work?
I think what we should do is we can post some questions related to the program that we had, and the guys can submit their answers. Maybe we should, yes, let's do it this way. We would like you to go to the SASACC Facebook page, ensure that you like the page, and then you must subscribe obviously to the show so that we can see that you subscribe to the show, and click on the reminder button. And then you must submit your answers to the question on the WhatsApp number that's being displayed on the screen right now within 10 days after the program has been posted. And then at the next program, during that program, we'll be doing the drawing and announcing then the winner of these programs.
Now the golden question is, what's the first question, Andres?
Let's make it an easy one. We had Henry Badenhorst here that spoke about the charts and something that I never knew anything about, and sea viewing, fishing, and how to use the program. And he spoke about 3 things that's important to improve your
The
catches.
3 main things he looks for on the chart.
Yes,
Okay.
that's it. And I'd like the viewers to send us those 3 things, name it for us on your WhatsApp, put your name and your surname, and the 3 main things that he mentioned in his discussion. Send us your WhatsApp, and then you'll be up for the prize drawing.
So the question is, what are the 3 main things he looks for on these charts to improve his catch results?
That's it.
Send your answer to the WhatsApp number appearing on your screen right now. Back to business. I'm quite excited about the next program, as we are going to focus on a review of activities and highlights of the 2021 year, and also take a look into 2022's calendar.
Maar ons het wonderlike foto's en video's van 2021 se aktiwiteite, en dit is belangrik dat ons dit deel met ons kykers. Daar's aktiwiteite wat plaasgevind het, en ons moet 'n bietjie wys wat die mense gedoen het en waarin hulle deelgeneem het. So ek sien baie uit daarna om dit te deel met almal.
Absolute. Please click the subscribe button as well as the notification icon, so that when we publish each program on the show, you will be notified. You can also leave comments on the show below. We are looking forward to all your inputs. Happy angling. See you soon.
Cheers.